The moment we've all been waiting for is here. Alex Ovechkin is back in town. Hi, this is Dan Holme of Locked On Capitals. Well, excitement surrounds the Capitals as their captain, Alex Ovechkin, is back in the district. And with that, a true sign, a true harbinger of the start of the NHL season as the Capitals captain is back. The Capitals welcomed their captain, Alex Ovechkin, back to the team after his return from Russia. And we take a look back at last season for the Capitals. They did the improbable by making it to the playoffs, but were subsequently eliminated in the playoffs. They were swept in short order. So what we're hoping for from Ovi is to be able to get a better start than what he got last season. As we know, he got off to his slowest start in his entire career. I guess at the end of the day, we don't know what was behind that. Was it equipment issues? Was it him mourning losses in his life? I guess we'll never know. But I don't think it's really fair to judge Alex Ovechkin in a vacuum, considering all he's accomplished. He got off to a slow start last season, but let's not forget all the many things that he's accomplished, and I think that all the big moves that were brought in by former GM Brian McClellan, I think the Capitals are in a much better position this season than they were the previous season. As we take a look at last season, it was the Capitals rolling out Spencer Carberry's new systems, and with that, there was a learning curve there. You saw Darcy Kemper, who on paper was slated to be the #1 in net, faltered. And, we could argue about why that is. I oftentimes on the show point to the fact that Darcy Kemper struggled because the Capitals were still learning Spencer Carberry's systems. And by the time they figured it out, Charlie Lindgren had taken over the reins of the net. But that's last season. We look for a better season from Alex Ovechkin in general, and of course we hope that these new additions will help the team. Ovechkin flew back to the U.S. on Wednesday and has started to participate in informal skates with the team after arriving on Thursday, and a guy was all smiles. He is still excited despite the fact that he is closing in on his 39th birthday. It still looks like he's still in it, and Alex Ovechkin is one of the guys that said, once I'm not having fun out on the ice anymore, then I don't want to do it. If I'm not having fun doing the game that I've loved for so many years, then I don't want to do it. And it does appear apparent to me that he's still having fun. And I think the new additions are what has him the most excited. Brian McClellan spoke about in a summer presser that has Alex Ovechkin been in contact with you about any of the movement? And former GM Brian McClellan said, well, he was when they acquired or traded for Pierre-Luc Dubois. And they said, really, what did he say? They said, not too much. He's not a man of many words when it comes to texting, just a thumbs up emoji. So it does appear, though, as though that Alex Ovechkin is happy with the new additions that are made to this team. And that's the big thing. This team being able to score goals on a regular basis is something that eluded them last season. Dylan Strome was the guy that scored a lot of the goals in Alex Ovechkin's slow start, that we're hoping that these new additions to the team are going to be, better suited for scoring up and down the lineup, not placing the pressure squarely on Ovi's shoulders. But Ovechkin was all smiles with his teammates and joined new Capitals players, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Andrew Mangiapane, Brandon Duhaime, and Logan Thompson. And Logan Thompson was another one of those moves that I didn't see coming. I thought it was going to be Charlie Lindgren and Hunter Shepard. Then Logan Thompson got introduced to the mix. But as you take a look at it, if you're going to win games, you have to have rock-solid net-minding. And I think that the Charlie Lindgren, I think the Logan Thompson tandem is a really good 1-2 punch for this team. All things considered, you take a look at the Capitals last season, they would not have made it to the playoffs had it not been for the great play of Charlie Lindgren in net. During the offseason, Ovechkin vacationed in Turkey before returning to Russia, where he engaged in his usual training and participated in charity events volleyball, etc. So he is a guy that took the time to rest, to recoup, to get ready for this upcoming season, spending time with his family. I know that there were those pictures circulating out there of him with that big stomach playing volleyball, and then his wife was quick to point out that that's not really him, and then posted a picture of him in shorts looking rather fit. So I think that as long as Alex Ovechkin did the needed training that he needed to this offseason, then I think, yes, then I think we're going to see a better Ovi than we did in the season before. And it's not going to get any easier. As we know, Alex Ovechkin is under contract for this upcoming season here and the season after that. But then after that, well, there's a lot of question marks surrounding him, as we know that at the end of the day, that Alex Ovechkin is chasing down Wayne Gretzky, and not to only catch him, but to surpass him. That is what it's all about. And I think, make no mistake about it, the big moves that were made this offseason was to help facilitate in that. I don't think that the Capitals want Ovi to not catch Gretzky. They're going to do whatever it takes to set him up to be in a position to succeed, to catch the great one, Wayne Gretzky. And he's going to be able to do that with a great supporting cast. As I spoke about in this podcast here, is I think that the addition of Pierre-Luc Dubois in particular, who I think on paper could very well be that first line center with Ovi and Tom Wilson. But I think that Dylan Strome is going to battle him for that as well, as you saw him play on that top line center position as well. But it's going to be exciting to see Ovechkin, and I think the Capitals organization is all in on Ovechkin catching Gretzky. Of course, at nearly 39 years old, Ovechkin is entering his 20th NHL season with Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goals record in sight, currently sitting at 853, just 42 goals away from setting a new record. I think he can do it, and it's interesting. You know, as we take a look at last season, it seemed like it was impossible to start the season. He just struggled to find the back of the net, but whatever changed after the All-Star break, whether it was him, finding that equipment that he was looking for, whether it was him, getting in the right headspace, that I think he's in the right spot. I think the equipment situation is something that has taken care of itself by him, going through a lot of different twigs, but finding the right one, but finding that right chemistry, that right rapport with the center. One of the things that he said in a presser at the end of the season was that it was kind of a turnstile at the center position, that he lacked that chemistry that he had for so many seasons with Nick Backstrom and those kind of players, that I think that if he can have that chemistry and they can kind of settle in on it being, PLD or Strome or whoever it happens to be, then I think it's going to put him in a much better position. You take a look at the Capitals, they took a really big bite out of that apple by trading for Pierre-Luc Dubois, a 7-year deal. That I think that was the big hope, the really big hope that he was going to be the guy to help Ovechkin take it to the next level, because we want to win another cup, of course, in the Alex Ovechkin era, but more importantly, or almost as important, I guess I'm going to say, is that Ovechkin is going to be able to catch and pass Wayne Gretzky. That is our hope. That is our prayer as Capitals fans. All right, I want to thank you once again for joining me on this, impromptu edition of Locked On Capitals, and I'll talk to you again next time.